Welcome back to another episode of Capitalism Ruins Everything. Today's episode, concerts. Dua Lipa charging $1,000 for tickets. Lady Gaga charging $1,000 for tickets. Katy Perry charging $1,000 for tickets. I don't know how she's able to charge over 20 bucks. I kid, but I mean, come on, you saw her last show? And of course, Taylor Swift charging $20,000 for tickets. Why is this happening? How did we get here? All that and more on the Yo Mickey channel. I love going to concerts. It's one of my favorite pastimes. There's just something so magical about entering a world that you could previously only enjoy through headphones. And it has now manifested into this amazing reality of your favorite artist performing your favorite song. With a bunch of other people who have the same taste in music as you. And sure, sometimes more intimate concerts are often a little sweaty and stinky and you go home smelling like 3 other people's body odor, but that's just part of the concert experience, baby. But recently, I've found myself going to less and less concerts, and I'm starting to realize why. It's not just because most concerts nowadays look like this. Okay, that might be some of the reason why, but the real reason why is because, well, you all saw the thumbnail, Ticketmaster. On paper, Ticketmaster doesn't sound so bad. One central place for all your ticket needs, that's great. But wait a second. Paper doesn't make any sound. Yeah, so obviously it's a pretty good idea in theory, but not really in practice. Anybody who likes to go to concerts know all too well how awful Ticketmaster is. Remember back in the day when you could find a nickel in your pocket and go see the Beatles or Michael Jackson and it'd be the biggest, most awesome concert of the year? And now if you want to go see Big Burger Baby with 500 monthly listeners on Spotify, you have to work 3 jobs, give away your kidney, sell your house for a goddamn obstructed view ticket. I can't see anything. What is he doing? What is he doing?
It's Big Burger
What is he doing? I can't see him. Like, what is he doing?
Burgers in the park and burgers.
What is he doing? I can't. But to understand how this came to be and Ticketmaster's involvement in it, we need to go back a bit. It feels like this current trend of hating on Ticketmaster is relatively new, doesn't it? But they've actually been on this spree of villainy for quite a long time now. Ticketmaster was apparently pretty chill back in 1976 when it was founded by a few computer scientists who wanted to make ticketing more efficient for college campuses and local venues. Before then, if you wanted to go to a concert, you would have had to trigger warning, interact with other people and go buy the tickets in person. At the time, Ticketron was kind of the big kahuna and was sort of the industry standard for buying tickets. But once Ticketmaster came onto the scene, it only took them a couple of years to completely run Ticketron out of the business. Ticketmaster originally stood for one simple goal: make it easier to buy tickets. Which is so crazy saying now, but we'll get into that later. They were already using computer systems, a huge innovation back then. And at first it worked wonderfully. Promoters loved the centralized system. Fans loved the convenience of having all your ticket needs in one place. Ticketmaster grew fast. They partnered with major venues, sports leagues, and eventually became the middleman for every major event in North America. And one of the ways Ticketmaster did this is what a lot of major companies have done. This little thing called penetration pricing strategy. It's when a company intentionally sets low prices and operates at a loss to quickly gain market share, attract users, and build brand loyalty. But once they've secured that solid base and weakened competitors, they jack the prices way up and introduce more premium tiers. Kind of like those crazy fees that you see on that website. Ticketmaster even went as far as to give these event spaces money in order to work with them. And that made them even more dependent on Ticketmaster. Think of it as a drug dealer giving you the first hit for free, not because he's a nice guy, but because he knows you're gonna get hooked and then come back for more. Ticketmaster was riding this clean PR wave for a while until the embodiment of greed itself manifested into their new CEO, Fred Rosen. Let me read you a couple of quotes from this guy. "I have no sympathy for people whining about high ticket prices. They created the situation themselves. First of all, it's called capitalism. Money is some of it, but it's the game, and I want to win. The public brought all this on itself. I have no sympathy for people whining about high ticket prices. I was running the evil empire. I was running a business. You know who liked me? My clients. Did I love being called an asshole? Not particularly. Could I live with it? Sure. You can't build a business without pissing somebody off. You know it's cooked when you hear that. Luigi, please save us. But like he said, right, that's capitalism, and capitalism is known to breed innovation. So surely this will inspire the competitive drive of other entrepreneurs, and this will help breed innovation and help diversify the market. And oh, sorry, I'm getting a call. 1 second. Hello? Oh, what's that? He bought out the competition? Uh-huh. Created a monopoly? Uh-huh. Right. This is the 1 billionth time that's happened in late capitalism, right? Yeah, no? Oh, all right, good to know. Fast forward a little bit, Ticketmaster spots a little diversity in the market, and you know Frederick Rosen is not going to let that slide.
Oh, hey, little guy. Oh, you're so cute.
Stop. You don't mean that.
I could just eat you up. I could just eat you up. Yes, I could.
You don't mean that.
I'm gonna eat you.
What?
Yeah.
Live Nation was a concert promoter. They worked directly with artists to book tours, organize festivals, and controlled hundreds of venues across the US. By the mid-2000s, Live Nation was promoting shows for the biggest names in music. U2, Madonna, Jay-Z, Coldplay, and you know Ticketmaster was in the corner of his room just plotting what they're gonna do about that one. So they actually decided on merging, or conglomerating, business degree, with Live Nation. And now basically, if an artist wants to perform at all, they have to go through them, because that merger created a mega corporation that now controls nearly every stage of the concert experience. Ticketmaster had the technology and sales infrastructure, while Live Nation had the artist venues and promotional power. Together, they owned every piece of the concert pipeline. So now they sell the tickets, own the venues, manage the artists, promote the tours, and just like that, they have full control over the concert pipeline, every single step. This is like if Disney or something owned every part of the entertainment industry. Wait a minute. So now if you want to see your favorite artist live, you have to go through Ticketmaster. It's not a choice. That means they can charge whatever they want, and we just have to deal with it because we don't have any other choice. I mean, look at this chart. Now look back at me. Now look back at this chart. Now look back at me. Unfortunately, that chart is not me, because if it was, it would be much less scary. Now look back at the chart. Yup, those are ticket prices rising faster than anything else, including other entertainment industries, as well as inflation, by the way. Now look back at me. I'm on a horse. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Ticketmaster is putting up some Canadian housing market prices right here. You see, because of Ticketmaster's mega monopoly, Ticketmaster owns 90% of the top 50 arenas, 90% of the top 50 amphitheaters, 70% of the theaters, 75% of the top clubs, 80% of the right side of your body, 60% of the left, 72% of your firstborn child, and 99% of your free will. They don't even have any competition. Well, you know, they have competition, but they don't really have competition. And why can they charge whatever they want? Well, because a little thing called supply and demand. This concept has led Ticketmaster to introduce dynamic pricing, which is just the best. This is just some levels of greed that I've only seen talked about in the Bible. Dynamic pricing is a system where Ticketmaster can basically raise the prices of the tickets to whatever they want based on the demand of the ticket. It's kind of similar to what airlines do. That means a seat that normally would cost $100 can spike up a lot the moment that it sells out. Spike up to what, you ask? We're never gonna tell. Could spike up to 500? Probably gonna spike up to 1,000 though. That's just part of the game. And I want to win. Oh wait, when he said it with a grin. And I want to win. Hey man, I think you might be over exaggerating just a little bit. I'm looking at these ticket prices right now. It says they're only like $100. Really? Is that including fees as well? Well, I haven't looked at the final price yet, but I'm sure they won't go up that much. I mean, let's look here. And wow, they actually went up to $28 million. Wow, okay. Of course, I'm gonna mention the Ticketmaster fees. Now, hidden fees aren't anything new, but the way Ticketmaster does it is actually so unbelievably greedy. Service fee, ordering process fee, cleaning fee,
convenience fees, payment processing fees, facility fees, handling fees, shipping fees, ticketing fees. Just pay us because we told you fees. That is the price we pay for their control.
And there's not really any transparency where these fees actually go. They just sort of show up. Obviously, this has been pissing a lot of the fans off for a while, but it actually started to really piss off a couple of artists, especially the big band Pearl Jam. They got really pissed about it and brought it to court. In the early 1990s, Pearl Jam was one of the biggest rock bands in the whole world. But by 1994, they were becoming very frustrated by how expensive concert tickets were getting, particularly because of Ticketmaster's outrageous service fees. Fans were getting charged significantly more than the face value of the ticket, all the way up to over 30% extra, and Ticketmaster was hiding these fees without the consent or knowledge of the band. The band starts hearing their fans complain about how high their ticket prices are when the band feels like them and Ticketmaster agreed on a pretty fair price. Little did they know, Ticketmaster was adding these hidden fees without the band's knowledge or approval. It pissed them off so bad that they went and took Ticketmaster to court. This would be the first of many incidents where Ticketmaster has to go to court, by the way. They were accusing Ticketmaster of being a major monopoly that controlled the majority of major venues and was overcharging fans with no transparency, which, you know, is like me going into court and accusing the sky of having clouds in it. Pearl Jam was so pissed off about Ticketmaster that they even went as far as organizing their own tour without the help of Ticketmaster. They looked for independent venues and alternate ticketing options. Yeah, safe to say this did not go well for them. Literally everything was already owned and controlled by Ticketmaster. Because Ticketmaster pretty much locked down every major venue in America, if you didn't use Ticketmaster, you couldn't tour. And I'm speaking in past tense, but just to be clear, that is still the case all these years later. So Pearl Jam went and testified before the US Congress in 1994, and they rightfully so explained that Ticketmaster's grip on the music industry was not only dangerous for artists or fans, but for everyone. And you know what happened? They won! Is what I would say if they won. But no, they didn't win. They lost, and Congress, the government, didn't do anything about it. They voted against breaking up Ticketmaster, didn't see it as a threat, I guess, and look where we are now, right? So Ticketmaster kept growing, and eventually even Pearl Jam had to go back to working with them because they just didn't have a choice. Take a shot, I talk about not having a choice but working with Ticketmaster in this video because I feel like I say it a lot. So Pearl Jam lost that fight, and 30 years later, we are still living through the exact same thing that they were trying to fight against. But hey, we just reached 10,000 subscribers. Let's go. Thank you guys so much. You gotta look on the bright side, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta look on the bright side. I should probably acknowledge that Ticketmaster has now introduced what they're calling all-in pricing, which basically means there's no hidden fees at checkout anymore. They're just automatically a part of the price, which is cool and less annoying, I guess, but they're still ripping you off. They're just saying it with their chest now. Now, the actual prices of the tickets are expensive, but that's if you're able to even win the Ticketmaster buffering war and actually buy the pre-sale, which you better, because if you don't get pre-sale, you have to go through the scalpers. So because of Ticketmaster's "we only care about money, screw you" policy, that's real by the way, I'm pretty sure I saw that on their website, they fully allow their website to be flooded with scalper bots. So no matter how late you stay up, desperately waiting to buy the pre-sale for your favorite artist's concert, you will never be able to beat these bots. And you will have to buy the resale ticket pricing. I mean, seriously, I know from experience, if you aren't clicking purchase the millisecond those pre-sales go live, you're done. You're not getting those tickets. I'm sorry. Ticketmaster likes to pretend that they're doing things to, you know, stop the scalpers and show love to the consumers, but they're super not. Ticketmaster is a $33 billion company, and its website loads like it's powered by a hamster running on a treadmill, which causes extremely slow loading times, which cannot happen when it's a competition to get the tickets as fast as you can, because it makes you miss when the tickets go live, but bots aren't affected by slow loading times. So it becomes even more reason to buy from the scalpers. Now you might be wondering, why doesn't Ticketmaster make more of an effort to stop these bots? So that way their consumers, their target audience, are more satisfied, and Ticketmaster can actually provide what their business is supposed to provide. Because of money, obviously. I love money. You see, the scalpers resell their tickets on Ticketmaster's resale site. You realize what that means, right? They want scalpers to buy the tickets because Ticketmaster makes more money when scalpers buy them. Because Ticketmaster is already overcharging the scalpers to buy the first ticket, and then the scalpers way overcharge you to buy the tickets. But because they sell it on Ticketmaster's site, Ticketmaster gets a percentage of the profit. So it's like they got to overcharge you twice. And they can go ahead and say, oh, hey, those aren't our prices, those are the scalpers' price. The scalpers are their business partner in this, so they're gonna let them do whatever they want. What's even worse is when the scalpers sell the tickets, the artists don't get that extra profit. But honestly, a lot of the times the artist gets the blame. It's just bad for everyone. Consumers don't like them, artists don't like them, venues don't really like them either, but Ticketmaster is loving them. But at least that extra money is going to this $33 billion corporation instead of the artists that people are actually paying to see. Whew. That's a lot of money the artists are losing as well, because touring is kind of the main way that artists can make money nowadays. Artists don't get much money from streaming now. Spotify and Apple Music really don't pay their artists well at all. Someone should really make a video on that. So the best way for them to make money is actually from touring. But artists have no choice but to use Ticketmaster because it's the only goddamn option. Speaking of scalpers, that brings me to the reason I wanted to make this video. Taylor Swift's Eras Tour. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really tapped into Taylor Swift like that. I know a couple of hits here and there. She wears high heels, I wear sneakers. But I saw that her tickets were going for $20,000, and I had to get to the bottom of this. In November 2022, Taylor Swift announced her massive Eras Tour, her first stadium tour in 5 years. Obviously, Taylor Swift fans are known to have a reputation to be pretty crazy, so they were quite thrilled. Over 14 million people flooded Ticketmaster's site, and within minutes, literally minutes, Ticketmaster's site crashes from what is apparently a historically unprecedented demand, with 14 million users while only 1.5 million codes were administrated, which was much more than they were even a little bit prepared for. Which sucks because many of these guys were waiting in these virtual lines for hours, only to see the tickets that they're waiting for suddenly either disappear or jump in price because of dynamic pricing. So Ticketmaster ended up canceling the public sale in general, blaming the extraordinarily high demands and the bots. Like that's not their fault. And could you believe that Ticketmaster somehow blamed the fans for this, claiming no website is designed to handle that much traffic? Aw man, if only there was more than one place where people could get tickets from. If you're gonna be the only ice cream truck on the hottest day of the year, you better make sure your cow's got enough milk in those udders. Obviously, this sparked major outrage. Ticketmaster was trending on social media for a while there. It caught attention of a lot of lawmakers. AOC was one of the most prominent to call out Ticketmaster's monopoly. Also here in Toronto, our self-appointed Toronto's first Swiftie mayor, Olivia Chow, was also calling them out on this.
Including our Swiftie mayor, Olivia Chow, the mayor of Swifttown.
A couple of lawsuits followed, a class action by fans, antitrust investigations from the DOJ, 29 states and DC aiming to break apart Live Nation and Ticketmaster. Of course, a lot of tickets sold pre-sale, but the remaining tickets surged to secondary markets and absolutely outrageous prices, which is where we get the $20,000 tickets. Not for floor seats or anything, mind you. These are some borderline nosebleed seats going for $20K. That's insane. Taylor Swift even started selling these $15 listening only tickets, and it was tickets for seats behind the stage, so you couldn't see her and her performance, but you could come for the vibes and the energy, and if you just want to hear her perform. So it's really for like die-hard fans who couldn't get a ticket. But scalpers still bought them out and have been selling them for $3,000 for listening only. It got so bad that people realized it would be cheaper and less trouble to book a flight to Europe to go watch her. Let me say that again, cheaper to buy a plane and travel across the world than to just book one in your closest major city. I get that it's cheaper and it's your favorite artist and everything, but is it worth it? I mean, who would go all the way to Europe for Taylor Swift? I did. Yup. That's right. I went all the way back to my ancestral homeland of Edinburgh, Scotland, to watch Taylor Swift perform at her Eras Tour. And the tickets were indeed much cheaper than what we would have had to pay if we saw her here in Toronto. We paid like $100 for these tickets. And look how good these seats were. Oh my gosh, these might have been the best seats I've ever had. Back here in Toronto, I would have had to sell my left kneecap to get these seats. I was talking to a couple people there, and we indeed were not the only ones who did that. Half the people I talked to were from Canada or America, who also decided to buy a plane ticket for across the world because somehow flying halfway across the planet was cheaper cheaper than to just go to a Taylor Swift concert in your local city. That is so insane. Isn't it crazy how we hear $20,000 concert ticket, and instead of thinking, hey, this system's really messed up, we should really do something about this, we just think, hey, free excuse to go to Europe. And by the way, I sat through 4 hours of Taylor Swift for this video. That was insane. No hate to people who like Taylor Swift. 4 hours is much too long of Taylor Swift. Shout out to all of you guys and my sister who thought that was the best thing in the world though. Ticketmaster eventually issued an apology and highlighted that 2 million tickets were still sold, so it couldn't have been that bad. And they admitted that their systems overloaded and were faulty, but then later backpedaled on this very recently and blamed the fans. But yeah, it's just such a crazy situation. There is no reality where concert tickets, mind you not VIP, mind you not floor, regular ass concert tickets should be costing even more than $1,000. Even $1,000 is pushing it. It's gotten so bad that even the government had to step in. And that's how you know it's serious, because the government loves billion-dollar businesses. I mean, who's going to pay for their personal golf courses? Additionally, fans and artists alike have lashed out at the company multiple times. Several US senators are calling for more regulations and oversight against Ticketmaster. But old Freddie Rosen thinks they're treating Ticketmaster as an easy target. Yes, the billion-dollar super monopoly is an easy target to explain why billion-dollar super monopolies should not exist. You're right. Absolutely nothing has happened from any of this though. So until something does actually change, we're all just gonna be the little conglomerates playthings every time we want to go see our favorite artist perform live. I know that's a pretty depressing point to leave you guys off with, so let me leave you guys with some financial advice instead. If you guys are ever really looking for some cheap concert tickets, just be born before the 1970s. I promise you, you'll find them everywhere. All right, you're welcome. Thank you. Bye.
What up, it's Big Burger Baby, yeah I'm pretty cool. I'm eating burgers in the park and burgers after school. I'm eating